might be lower. I'm using 7% because that is the national average. Okay? So again, adjust these numbers, but now you need to think about it. I have fewer dollars to attract opportunities. Where should I spend that money to get those people in the door? Thinking about this balanced mix, where should I apply it? Well, the manufacturer provide me leads. They tend to be folks that are a little bit higher in the funnel, okay? And it's a little bit difficult for me to pull that lever and say, hey, Mr. Manufacturer, send me more, right? Send me more of those people. That's a tough one to do. Website, we can pull that lever. It takes some energy to do that. That's a lever I can pull. Those tend to be kind of a blend of low and mid-funnel opportunities. But the one that we tend to overlook sometimes is third party. That's a lever I can pull, okay? Now, a lot of us think, okay, here we go. We're going to start talking about third-party leads. Let's take a look at this for just a second. We talk about low funnel opportunities. We looked at 1 million leads, mapped them to actual close rates. And we didn't do this. We gave them to a third party, RL Polk. They did this based on registrations. And what we found was that of those who bought, the majority of them here, 43%, closed in 30 days or less. And of those, half of them closed in 10 days or less. Now that's what I would call a low funnel opportunity, right? So something to think about. If we break this out a little further, almost 70% of those close within 90 days, okay? So again, I've got fewer dollars. Where should I spend them? I know that some of us have looked past third-party leads here lately. We might want to give them another look. The reason for that is because the research is telling us that today, of the people that are prone to submit leads, 42% of them tend to favor third-party lead providers, okay? So again, these are the real numbers. These are the stats. This comes from RL Polk. And 24% of those we're seeing an increase of 24% of those folks that are going to these third-party lead providers of the group that are overall looking to increase, of the group that are looking to submit leads. Now, Polk also did another study, and they said, of the different types of people that are submitting leads, what are they? What is their makeup? We're going to talk more about this here in just a second. What they said was that they categorized these different types of folks into 3 different groups, right? They had first-time car buyers, they had loyalists, people that were loyal to a brand or to a product, and they had what they call defectors, people that would move from brand to brand. Of all of those 3 different types of categories, what Polk found was that all 3 of them tend to prefer third-party lead providers over the manufacturer and over their dealership websites as far as the place that they wanted to submit leads, and in fact, of the place that they did submit leads. So, something for us to be mindful of. Now, there's one other point that we want to make here, and that is when we think about our marketplace, when we think about our business today, it might look something like this, right? You've got your own marketplace. You know the area that you tend to focus on the most and the area that you want to conquest the most. But something we have to realize is that this has changed, okay? Today what we find is that we've got about 30% fewer opportunities because we've got 30% fewer people raising their hand, okay? So if we haven't adjusted our marketing and our market strategy to make up for that 30% loss, we're just going to see fewer and fewer people walking in the door, or fewer and fewer emails coming in, or fewer and fewer phone calls coming in. So what we want to do is make a change, all right? This is it. You need to cast a wider net in order to make up for that 30% fewer opportunities that you've got walking in the door. Now, how do we go about doing that? There's a number of different things we can do, a number of different things you should do, but I'll tell you one of the easiest things that you can do, again, without increasing your spend, is think about these third-party lead providers, okay? And the reason I mention that is because by making one phone call or actually going into the back-end system yourself, you can immediately adjust your market radius without spending any more money to make up for that 30% loss of opportunities that you had 6 months ago, okay? So just think about that. Now, I'm going to move off that subject. We're going to talk now about how to adjust our message to better resonate with the consumers that are in the marketplace today. First off, the most important thing to think about is what are consumers thinking about, right? What's most important to them in this market today? It's value, right? These are the search terms, these are the search phrases that we are seeing boiling up to the top right now. These are the things that are most on the consumer's minds, right? So when you think about adjusting your mix, not only your marketing message and your marketing mix, this is what you need to be mindful of. This is what the mindset of the consumer is today. So how do you go about adjusting for this? Think about your responses, okay? Focus very clearly on the response that you give back to the consumers today, and make sure that you're adjusting it so that it maps to what is on the consumer's mind. And one of the things that's on their mind is, I need to buy a car, and they're kind of doing that dance with themselves, back and forth. Should I be buying right now or not? Should I be buying right now or not? This is always a tough thing for consumers, even in good conditions, good market conditions. It's even tougher now. So what we want to do in our responses, both in phone and email, is reinforce the fact that this is a really good time to buy a car, and follow that up with a benefit to them, okay? Not something like, buy it from me because we won the President's Award last year. That has no benefit to them. But package it in such a way that there is some kind of a benefit, ideally financial, okay? Now what you don't want to do is make this pitch all about a discount, all right? You want to offer value, not discounts, and there's really simple ways to do this, okay? Combine the vehicle discount with maybe a finance discount, okay? Or something that you could get from your parts and service department, or something that you might be able to get with a vendor that you do a lot of business with locally, maybe an car audio vendor or something like that. So think about a response that goes back to a consumer that says, Mr. Consumer, I understand that right now you might be wondering if you should buy this vehicle or not. We get that. A lot of our consumers are in the same boat. I can tell you it is a really good time to buy a car. We're going to take X amount of dollars off the vehicle. We can delay your payment by 45 days. I can provide you with an option when you buy this new truck to either get a bed liner or a Sirius radio at blank % off. And if you're thinking about any other accessories, I've got a deal going on with Car Toys down the street, and they'll give you 25% off anything in their store as well. Now, each of those items combined, does that say, I've got a good value for you? Does that say, I'm willing to work with you differently than the guy down the street who might not be able to provide all those items combined together? And what did this cost us? It's nothing. All the things that we were probably going to do anyway. Would our parts manager be willing to provide some sort of a discount today to get more business? Yep. Would the car audio guy down the street be willing to do something for all the business we've sent him? Is he struggling to get business in the door today? Yep. Is he running some kind of a sale? Yep. Is he willing to participate? Absolutely. Right? All we need to do is pull it all together, empathize with the customer, package it up, and present to him why he should do business with you versus somebody down the street. One thing that we need to make sure that we're doing as well is communicate that there is finance available. Again, a lot of consumers are reading all the press. It sounds like you can't buy a car right now. Okay? Well, we've all figured out ways to sell cars right now. It's maybe a little bit tougher, but we figured it out. We need to make sure that the consumers understand this. Okay? The other thing that we want to do is remember that when that opportunity or that lead comes in, our objective has always been to get the appointment. But today what we might want to be thinking about is, in addition to getting the appointment, we want to be thinking about creating a dialogue. Okay? We're not getting a lot of these opportunities, as many as we had 6 months ago. We might be down 30%, so we want to make sure that we hang on to every one we get. The best way to do that is engage the customer. Engage them in a dialogue. Easy way to do that is by asking them at the end of your conversation or at the end of your lead, how'd I do? Did I answer all of your questions? Most customers will respond to that, right? You end with a question, they will answer that question in most cases, okay? So think about it. Really simple thing. All right. Let's move on to the third area here. We want to talk about maximizing the opportunities that we do get. Like I said, we have fewer opportunities coming in the door today than we ever had. Fewer people raising their hand that want to buy a car than we've had in the past. We want to think about maximizing every single one. And the best frame of mind that you can have